I'm cooking my tomato and chili halloumi stir fry. This dish is packed with flavour. We've got a spicy tomato rich sauce, it's got sweetness and tang, and of course that gorgeous salty halloumi. So these are the ingredients. Obviously we've got the gorgeous halloumi, we've got tomatoes, red pepper, half a chilli, onions and garlic, and then the sauce, which is sriracha, soy, tomato puree, honey and rice vinegar. First of all, I'm going to make the sauce. Really easy, store-cupboard ingredients. We've got soy here. I like the light soy, and you can actually use tamari if you need a gluten-free option. We've got sriracha here, which is from Thailand, and actually it's not called sriracha in Thailand, it's called sriracha. That's how my mum pronounced it. So sriracha, some tomato puree, rice vinegar. Now, if you don't have rice vinegar, then swap it for any vinegar really. We just need the acidity. So I would use white wine vinegar, cider vinegar, red wine vinegar, malt vinegar, anything goes, and some honey here. Okay, and you could use agave syrup, or maple if you wanted. And you just mix that together with a few tablespoons of water. Now, that looks simple, but that is going to have so much flavour, okay? And we're going to put that near the stove because this kind of dish cooks really quickly and we need everything to hand. So next up, we've got the halloumi. Don't get low fat, whatever you do. And I'm just cutting it into cubes, like so. I absolutely love halloumi. I think everything tastes better with halloumi. It's that sort of squeaky saltiness that is so delicious. It's just too addictive, and my kids love it. I'm just going to just a little bit of oil in here. It is obviously a fatty cheese, but we just need a little bit of oil to help the colour, and I'm going to put it in here. Oh, hear that sizzle. So that's just going to cook for about 4 or 5 minutes, and while that's cooking I'm going to prep the rest of the ingredients. So we're going to slice an onion, just slice it thinly. We've got some garlic, you can crush it or you can finely chop it like I'm doing. Is there any difference between chopping and crushing it? Sometimes I crush it and sometimes I chop it. I think when you finely chop it like this, what I like is it avoids the washing up, actually. And it means that it burns less easily when you're cooking it down. But I also use a garlic press when I need to as well. And you can be fancy and you can smush it in with some salt, but you know, often I'm short for time and I just want the quickest way. My chilies, so you know, I put extra in for myself. But if you're maybe a bit sensitive to heat, you can de-seed them. I tend to use a mild chili for this anyway. But actually, chilies vary quite a lot in terms of their heatness. You know, sometimes you'll get a mild chili and it will blow your head off, and other times it tastes of nothing. So you can either do a taste test and be brave, or de-seed it if you're worried about it. Okay, or you don't have to add it if you don't want to. And if you're making this for kids, then you know, go mild on it. There we go, just getting some nice colour. Already that salty smell, I just find it so addictive. Okay, we're going to get lovely brown sort of chunks here. Now while that's doing, I'm going to prep the rest of the veg. So we've got red pepper. So I'm using a couple of tomatoes here. If you can get vine tomatoes, then they're just going to have a bit more flavour. Sometimes as well, I like to use cherry tomatoes on the vine because they've just got that sort of extra sweetness. Right, now I'm going to take the halloumi out of the pan, scrape away any bits, but it's going to have a lovely charred flavour there. So now we're going to get on with stir frying the veg and making the sauce. So this is a little bit of oil here. So now I'm going in with the onions, the garlic and chilli. You can absolutely use spring onions. I toggle between the two depending on what I have available at that point in time. So definitely you can sort of use them interchangeably. So we're just going to cook this down for about 5 minutes so they're nice and soft, okay? A little bit more oil. And what I love about this dish is that, you know, with just a few key store-cupboard ingredients, you can just come up with something that's so flavour-packed. And it does all the hard work for you. So, you know, that tomato paste, concentrated tomato flavour. So as you can see, these are starting to get colour, all the flavours coming out. I'm going to add the tomatoes and the peppers. So now this is where the flavours are really going to join up and melt together. We're just going to cook this for about 3 minutes until they soften slightly, and those tomatoes are going to create a lovely sauce. So this has been going for a few minutes, and the onions are really gorgeously jammy. The tomatoes have sort of softened, and I'm going to add the sauce now. Already I know that's going to be so delicious. You know, that rice vinegar gives a gorgeous tang to it, and that sort of acidity really cuts through that sweetness. I mean, sriracha, such a great store-cupboard ingredient. It just, you know, it's got that depth of flavour, it's fermented, so it sort of adds that base of umami-ness and that garlic sort of element as well. Just a brilliant ingredient to have, to sort of add that flavour boost whenever you sort of need a quick dish up your sleeve. I'm just going to bubble this for a couple of minutes. It smells sweet and tangy, so delicious. Just waiting for it to get a tiny bit thicker, but it is almost done, and you can see that's helping reduce the tomatoes down even more. Okay, that sauce is absolutely perfect now. I'm going to add the halloumi. Oh, that is a taste sensation. Just going to coat it in it, soften the halloumi again, because obviously once I've taken it out of the pan, it gets a little bit hard. So just going to fry that for another minute or so. Get that halloumi lovely and soft again. Get all those flavours together, and we're going to have a delicious meal. Okay, that's it. How quick was that? I'm going to plate up now. So this is my tomato and chili halloumi stir fry.